try to recap. I remember Rune went to a concert together with Sana and Carl, and it went really well.
More like a gig,
kind of.
Yeah, where you could sit in afterward and stuff. Yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure what Isabella did at the start of the game, but she went on a date with Wille, and they after that went into the forest, and something happened there that sent her off in a panic. So that's what I remember. And I don't remember details, so if reincorporation is bad tonight or today, I'm sorry, but just stop me and ask me why I'm talking nonsense. Help me to make it right if that's possible.
I think if we want to go into details, I think we began with Villa being at home.
Oh, Mom pestering him. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I should remember that.
Then we moved to Isabella's place,
Exactly.
where our conversation was crashed by Runa, and then we somehow ended up on an evening together, and the two of you also ran into your friend, the cop, but that seems to have worked out okay for Runa in the long run.
Yeah.
But the real the summary of the episode, as I see it and felt it at the time, was that it looked as though there turned out to be kind of a reversal where Runa ended up kind of doing fine and sort of achieving a little and, winning the respect of some of the adults around him and stuff like that. And the two reasonably more, sort of more mainstream end up in nightmarish occult, trouble at the end.
I will start my first scene with some kind of time lapse, and I will start it with Carl, who has decided he wants to show Rune, maybe especially, the mine. And I think I'll drag Wille along. How he got there is a little bit open, but I think I wanted him to be there. So the three of you find themselves, for starters, on top of this kind of hill of mine refuse. Those more or less tiny stones. Carl doing a little bit of explaining and talking and asking you to help him pick up a couple of those stones to start. It's by now, the snow is basically melted. There are a lot of puddles, some of them having a kind of brownish red color. And when he's finished, he basically tells you he needs to take a couple of water samples down at the river and will meet you at the entrance of the mine. So he probably goes off with asking you not to trigger a landslide or something while he's down there. But he points where the mine is, and Rune probably knows it, but he points you in that direction. So the entrance to the mine is closed off by a rather new gate. But it's not, I mean, you could force it if you are kind of a resourceful youth or young adult. He has a key. He lets you in, and he's telling you basically most of the shafts are closed off because it's a really old place and the walls or the roof have collapsed, and there's one of them that's kind of accessible, but it isn't long either.
So this is sounding safer and more welcoming by the moment.
Yes, which is kind of his point.
This is me looking at the corners and junctures of things.
So you see, we are not really planning to dig down here again. We are basically planning to take and process what's out there. This will probably be closed in a better way rather sooner than later.
But why won't they just continue mining here?
Well, so far it doesn't seem there's much left in the mountain, and also it's really not stable.
I see plenty of rocks.
Here, they move.
Are they thinking of flooding it?
Not what I've heard. Right now they are trying of getting an idea of what to do with the place.
Because that's what they do in America, is they'll flood the valley entirely, and so you end up with the mine flooded, but a huge lake where all these valleys were. And I don't really know, whether that's even possible.
No, this is not really going deep. It basically goes like this through the mountain. So I'm not entirely sure that would be a solution here. But it is an interesting thought.
We can turn it into a bat cave.
Actually, I haven't seen much animals in here, which is curious.
What could be forcing them away? Then this would be perfect for like a bear.
Well, the gate? Maybe a hinder for a bear, and I'm not entirely sure. Rune, when did you see the last bear here?
Thankfully, never.
See? I mean, apart from scaring tourists, I don't think they were that.
That's probably just a bit left.
So, what, that's funny, I thought I corrected this on my sheet. The spelling, I mean. So, all right, I'm curious. I want to see some of the the spookier parts, so I'll wander a little bit. Maybe not away, but I'm not just going to stand in one spot. So I'll look through, and eventually I'll ask Carl. Matter of fact, yeah. So Carl, what are there like safety or maybe like green eco things that are different now? Would they set up a mine a lot like this one? What's the plans for the new one?
Well, the plan is not necessarily a new mine. What we are planning is try to extract material, especially rare earth, from the refuse out there, because there are far better possibilities nowadays to get at those things, and now we need them. At that time, people were mainly going for iron
Mhm.
and gold.
What are they going for now?
Lithium, uranium.
Silicon.
Yeah, I don't know about which one specifically here, but I mean, I've never heard of uranium here, but
that's
but,
part
uh, but-
of what we are trying to find out. What is in there, and in what fractions, so we can make a plan.
I'll repeat something that I have read on the internet. Speaking as Willa here, Willa is, and I will put on my "I'm so smart" and I'm quoting from the internet voice, which you're probably pretty able to recognize by now, which has to do with, well, China is pulling ahead in everything, and that's because they have inroads into Africa that other people don't have. So they have, they've half of their cars are electric now, and they're getting ahead. And this is the way we have to make sure that they don't run the world soon.
Oh, I think I saw that article too.
Well, and it isn't entirely wrong. We are trying to find possibilities to be independent from China, from imports in general. But we have to make sure this place is safe, and part of nowadays concerns is whether anything can leak into nature, into the river or other places. I mean, not every fish is happy with the uranium in the river, for example. And there is a slight possibility you could find it here in small amounts, so don't you worry.
I'm doing the back of my neck rub and looking very conflicted about things and walking up and down. Not in a way that interacts with you guys. I'm not questioning or seeking questions. I'm not getting, there's a puzzle that's not coming together for me. So just walking up and down. But I do seem to like touching the bare rock or the earth. I like to touch it.
Mm-hmm. You are feeling some kind of response to your touch. You're not entirely certain what it is, whether it's connected to the rock itself or to the water that basically is dropping and moving in here. Well, it isn't as you would feel it's kind of trying to drown you or anything, but you're a little bit surprised about the amount of water. Also, Carl is going to tell you, but that's because everything is thawing, so the water finds its way down into the rocks.
Yeah, I listen with half an ear, like I'm listening to something else at the same time.
And he's kind of trying to tell you that he would, as far as he's concerned, he has shown you what he wanted to show, that this is a rather bare and small place, not worth considering as a party ground or anything like that.
Okay.
And to get everybody safely out of here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he's closing up the thing and tells you guys, if you want to ride back to town, I can take you with me. If you want to stay here and look around, you're welcome.
I actually want to get some video.
Like inside?
Inside
outside?
And around. I'll walk around. I'll do it. Right, I'll do it. I instantly produce from how I don't know, but I instantly produce one of those selfie sticks, you know, that you attach to your phone, and you know, start waving it about, you know, and talking at it and positioning myself and, you know, getting photos of something. And I don't know if you photobomb me once in a while when I'm not looking, but
Yeah, that's good. You can leave. I'm gonna keep Wille company so he doesn't do anything stupid.
Well, that's great to know. See you later. So it's basically leaving you to where you are, or we are closing out the scene. I think we're closing out the
Okay.
scene. If you want to continue, you can just pick
no,
up a new
I've got thoughts. So yeah.
So who's next?
I think we can pay attention to Isabella now.
She is the center of attention wherever she goes.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly what she needs, more attention.
Does anyone want a scene with her, or
No,
You are telling us what
you tell us where she is and what she's doing.
Yeah.
I think that she is greeting her grandfather who's just come home from vacation, or he's been on a business trip.
Mm-hmm.
And he offered to come home, but Isabella said she was fine. Like when she was hurt,
Mm-hmm.
she's a big girl; she can handle it. But it hasn't been great for Isabella to stew in her own juices. She's going to greet him with a kind of not entirely convincing fake smile.
Give me a minute.
Of course.
Sorry, let's just see. So Isabella and what was his name? Ireland?
Gideon, yeah,
Sorry.
Gideon.
Ireland is a badass name.
Ireland.
So the green.
Arling. Gideon Arling.
Gideon. I think you said green.
So where are we?
Probably in the lobby of the home.
Got it. And what's your idea what this is going to be about?
Well, she's going to ask him to stop working with Willa's mom.
Wait, I didn't want it that detailed.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Like, where do you want it to go? So in general, she's going to try to
because she's
try to tell him what his job is.
No, but she's going to say that I think Villa drugged me, and you shouldn't be working with someone whose mom drugs people.
Okay.
Yeah, or someone whose son drugs people.
So does he even have his coat off yet? I mean, have you guys sat down?
Yeah, I think.
What's going on?
Well, she's coming down to greet him, like the good granddaughter.
Okay, so you want very much want it in the hallway, and her kind of greeting him with "you shouldn't do this or that."
Well, she's going to take his coat and hobble away with it on her crutch, and if she sprained her ankle, I think she'd still be like.
Okay, let's do this. So it's only the two of you as far as I'm concerned. And we start in the hallway. Isabella coming down the stairs. Coming out of a room downstairs, I think.
Yeah, she's been
Just
staying.
to keep things a little bit faster. And he's probably just putting all the things he has carried with him, like a little suitcase and a bag. So how are you really doing, Isabella?
Well, that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about. Can I take your coat?
Well, don't bother. He's going off to hang off his coat himself.